Namaste and welcome to the tutorial on generator and parity check matrices of the cyclic code. In this tutorial we will discuss how the generator matrix and the parity check matrix for the non-systematic cyclic code can be formed. If the generator polynomial is given in the form as shown over here, where G0, G1, G2 and Gn minus k represents the coefficient of the term x with n representing the code length and k representing the message bit length. So we can write the generator matrix for this non-systematic cyclic code as follows. Here we will first form the first row of the generator matrix by using the coefficient of these terms, that is a G0, G1, G2 up to Gn minus k, such that we will have the number of columns equal to n, and we will go on right shift. We will go on doing right shift to get our next row. So for the next row you will observe that this first row is considered with the right shift to form the second row, and this process will go on until the kth row. So therefore the G matrix, that is the generator matrix, will be of the size k by n, where k represents the number of message bits and n represents the number of code bits in the code vector. So this is how you can form a generator matrix for the non-systematic cyclic code. Let's see the example. So if suppose we are having the generator polynomial which is given as 1 plus x cubed, then that we can represent in terms of their coefficient as shown over here. If you observe, as the x square term is not present in the given polynomial of the generator, therefore the coefficient of the x square is represented as 0, while for the other terms we have represented the coefficient as 1, and therefore the values for the G0, G1, G2 and G3 can be found as shown over here. So over here G0 is 1, G1 is also 1, as the coefficient of x is 1. The value for the G2 is 0, as the coefficient of the x square is 0, and the value for the G3 is equal to 1, as the coefficient of x3 is equal to 1. And therefore we can have the generator matrix as shown over here. So this is the generalized way to write our generator matrix, which we have used to write the generator matrix for this example. So as here we are having the terms from G0 to G3, and therefore the matrix will take this form, and the size of this matrix will be 4 by 7, as this generator polynomial repress is used for the 7,4 cyclic code. So over here if you observe, again we have written the coefficient, these coefficients G0, G1, G2, G3 in the first row, and then for the remaining columns we have written 0. The length of the column will be 7, therefore the first 4 rows are represented in terms of the coefficient of G polynomial, and remaining 3 rows are filled with 0. Now we will perform the right shift on this first row, and from that we can form the second row as shown over here. Then applying the right shift on the second row, you can get the third row, and again by applying the right shift on the third row you will form the fourth row. So this is how the complete generator matrix for this polynomial, for this generator polynomial is formed. Now by substituting the values of these coefficient, you can get your final generator matrix. And this matrix, if you observe, it is a non-systematic form, as it represents the generator matrix for the non-systematic cyclic code. Now we will see how to get a parity check matrix for the non-systematic cyclic code. So here, if the generator polynomial for n comma k cyclic code is given, then the polynomial h of x represents the parity check polynomial such that it satisfies this relation. The relation states that the product of generator polynomial with the parity check polynomial should be equal to x raised to n plus 1. So therefore, by rewriting this equation, we can find what is the h of x. So h of x is nothing but the division of x raised to n plus 1 by generator polynomial. So the quotient of this division is nothing but h of x. So, and in the polynomial form, we can write h of x as shown over here, where k represents the highest degree for the parity check polynomial, and this k is nothing but the number of message bits. So here let's see the example. If we have considered this generator polynomial for the 7, 4 as 1 plus x cube, then we can find what is the parity check polynomial by using this formula. So here, as the formula is given to us that x raised to n plus 1 divided by g of x, here the value of n is equal to 7, and therefore we will have the equation as x raised to 7 plus 1 divided by 1 plus x cube, which is nothing but our generator polynomial. And the result of this division is equal to x raised to 4 plus x raised to 2 plus x plus 1. So this is how we can get our parity check polynomial. Now by using this parity check polynomial, we can find our parity check matrix as shown over here. So this is a generalized equation for the parity check polynomial. So by considering its coefficient, you can form the parity check matrix as we have done for the generator matrix as well. But here only the difference is you will start writing the coefficient from the right side. So here you have formed the first row by using the respective coefficient, but the S0 will be located at the extreme right of the first row, and then followed by the remaining quotient, and after that you will fill the remaining columns of that row with 0. Here the dimension, here the number of columns will be equal to n, and the number of rows will be equal to n minus k. So after writing the first row, you will perform here the left shift by 1 position to get your second row, and you will go on performing the left shift by position 1 to get your successive rows, and this will be done till the n minus kth row. So this is how you can form your parity check matrix. Now we will see the example. So if suppose we are having generator polynomial as we have already found, that is x raised to 4 plus x square plus x plus 1, then according to that we will get the values for the coefficient, that is the h4, h3, h1, h2 and h0 as 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So by using our generator matrix representation, parity check matrix representation, we can get our parity check matrix as shown over here. So here, as we are having the values from h0 to h4, we will first form our first column. See here, the number of number of columns is equal to 7. So first 5 columns will be filled with the last 5 columns will be filled with the values of H4, H3, H2, H1, H0, and the first 2 positions will be filled with 0. Now you will perform the left shift by 1 position on the first row to get your second row, and again you will perform the left shift on the second row by 1 position to get your third row. And this is how you can form your 3 by 7 parity check matrix. And after filling the values of your each coefficient in this matrix, you can form your final parity check matrix in terms of ones and zeros. So this is the way you can find the parity check matrix. The usefulness of this is that after getting the parity check matrix, you can perform the similar operation that you have done in the linear block codes. That means if you want to find out the syndrome, then you can use the same techniques that you have used in the linear block code, because cyclic code is again a subset of the linear block code. So the similar operation you can perform on the matrix to know what is a syndrome, whether there is a presence of error or not in the received cyclic code, and according to that you can correct it. So this is how you can find out the generator matrix as well as parity check matrix for the non-systematic code, and you can utilize it for finding out the code vectors by using the generator matrix, as well as you can find out your syndrome and correct the values, correct the received code words by using your parity check matrix. Thank you.